There's a lot of loitering and elbow, and it's provided a bit of room for G2 to go walkabouts, but Bram's keeping an eye on it. Kellogg's trades out the teammate of Nuki, both those duelists walking together.
It's time to plan. They need to make it safe. They need to wait for that Viper wall maybe again. To seek for that safety. Oh, Sender, you gotta move. Oh, that's just great.
Mixwell was there. I like the idea that Sender was trying to hold on. Maybe he could get away from it in the corner, but there's not that much time left for Vitality to plant. Luckily, they get it down. 40 seconds now before we see the spike explode. Vitality, 7 HP Loki is holding onto the backside. There's a recon dart available, and they don't really know where these G2 players are playing from. It's a wide open site, and Mixwell and Avova are finding a lot of success. It's a clear up. I'm trying to swoop around this site. It's a long burden in progress. Vitality are holding on, a lot of pressure coming in, and Brams is there with a bit of a counter-attack coming in. Coldamenta flashed, stunned. It's nice to see the breach back in play. But Kellogg's with the Marshal. That's a 2k for him. He's under a lot of pressure to find a little bit more, and time isn't going to necessarily be on his side. But mostly because this is going to be an A hit. Vac has managed to slip in. Avova wasn't expected, but he's still alive, at least for now. The big duel for him to win, but Brams has broken in and broken onto those G2 players playing on the A site. The spike's going down, and that was a beautiful bait and rotate.
Yeah, they tried. Nuki thought it was more enough. Well, seems like the round is not over yet. Kellogg's with the operator, Nuki as well, who were saying, beautiful Reyna player. That lockdown that's gonna come out. Either you gotta come out and destroy it, you gotta leave.
Player standing.
Vitality doing their best to stay. Brams trying to open up the sight lines, take on some of these duels, but that lockdown has created everything that G2 need, but Brams isn't going down that easily. Kellogg's now with a Blade Storm, trying to play in close, and he clutches it out. That's the second round for G2, a 2-all scoreline.
Let's see if Snooki didn't even spot anyone.
Oh, the knife out, Mixwell. He wasn't expecting that, and there's been a couple of times where Vitality have really caught this G2 team sleeping, but every time it seems to be Nuki or Avova being able to bail out this team. The ex-Heretics members have been worth their weight in gold. I'm pretty sure Carlos would have thrown the checkbook at Heretics to get them, and even this early on, it's worthwhile. But here's Vat coming in. First player to ever get Radiant. Oh, is looking as good as it has been up until now. They're certainly on that list. This Vitality team is going to be a problem. Coldamenta's found a nice sort of connection in. Sender quickly trades. It was necessary. Coldamenta could have ran away with a few more. And luckily, they're starting to steady the ship. They're up against G2's Eco. G2 are spread across this map yet again.
Yeah, they think they know that G2 is going to be aggressive, and the moment they stop thinking about the G2 is being aggressive, but Sender is doing a great job today. I think it's a really hard time. Yeah,
Fault
and again,
line.
the plan on B, it's going to be an easy round for them.
Yeah, I think he did. His combo might be fine, but if he could do some more damage to Vitalities, that'll be key. Because frankly, I don't think he's being contested all that much. There's no flashes, there's no sky or breach on this G2 side. Not the flashes fix everything, but it at least makes sure that you can clear an angle of an operator if you're about to push it. Now the Viper's Pit, I like the position it's being used in. Look, he's going to try and slip by, and there's no player particularly watching that angle, and with that Empress, he's going to be more problematic. He's trying to get out of the way of Loki's recon dart, and Loki's just seeing this Reyna look all over the place, trying to work out where that pulse is coming from. And Vac, not with the operator, but with the Blade Storm, catches on to the IGL of G2. You're going to come through exactly where this toxic screen is placed. Avova is on the map, he is on the site.
Ooh.
The recon dart isn't going to find him as he manages to slip through. Can catch Vac, who's all on his lonesome. All of this clouding utility makes it difficult for Vitality to get the kills, but Brams has made his way in. That's a nice triple kill. Knows exactly where the Reyna's going to be playing from, and Hunter's Fury for Coldamenta is going to catch onto one player. It's going to see what else it can grab, but it can't confirm a kill. Now Nuki, he's been finding success in a couple of these fights, but not enough to confirm a round for G2. The shock dart takes the attention away, and now Brams. Maybe ace up this for Coldamenta. It's open, but now a 1 versus 1. Let's see what one of the recent additions for G2 can do. Loki is there as well. Almost got detained. Unreasonable, really, considering how big Breeze is. Look, he's under a lot of pressure. The Eldron's going to look one way, but it doesn't look the other. So Coldamenta can play there. Look, he's actually going to bring out the Empress. He can try and dismiss and go invisible. He can clear himself out of dangerous position, but the Hunter's Fury doesn't kill him. He catches on to Sender. And Bram's a bit of a late sort of flank coming in from mid-doors. Nuki's there to prepare. Kellogg's is there to help. And for one of the few times it's only really worked out for G2. I say that though. Jesmond, a 1 versus 2. Doesn't have the spike on the ground, but that toxic screen can at least give him a bit of subtlety to pick it up. There's 30 seconds, not really enough time to head over to B.
Should be fine. If it allows him to be.
It's out in the open, and that's a nice little flick for a Vova with the
Spectre.
The SMG, yeah.
Mixwell here is gonna have a hard task.
He shuts down the flash, but he is completely dumbfounded. Brams manages to slip on through without taking lethal damage. He's still quite low overall. Mixwell's at least going to be able... He's going to relay that information, and Nukier is going in for the pinch. I don't think Vitality are going to expect this, but never mind. Jesmond was watching. Double P comes in to at least trade out the teammate as quick as they can, but this is a lot of information that G2 can use.
Yeah, and I think they still have that recon. Here, Colamantis stun Kellogg's. Finds Brams. Gotta go for the defuse.
These post-bomb positions are nice. The crossfires for G2 are comfortable, and whilst they are dropping one by one, it is just going to be a Vova left alive. Coming out of G2 this time, well, play into mid, and frankly, Vitality haven't really been finding those duels outright. But Sender finds a key one onto Nuki. He was going through Hall, and as we've been saying, Vitality have been holding on to these positions. Kellogg's was trying to catch onto Jesmond. The toxic screen is going to give up that spot. Mixwell is there to follow in from B, and another B plant coming in. More understandable and easy to retake numbers for Vitality. But Vac really needs to be winning those shots, and Kellogg's punishes.
Oh no! That was just great from Kellogg's. Even Flash, you just can't duel him.
Makes sense when you're looking at the dual distance for a lot of these fights being a very, very long distance, a distance that the Vandal will consistently headshot on.
Ooh.
But that can do similar stuff on the Marshall, tries to dash out, and Loki is there to at least finish off some of these kills. It's nice stuff, and this fast punching G2 has to slow down just a little bit. A lot of utility coming in to clear these Marshalls, but Zender's just adding more and more to them. The Vova isn't that far away to punish. There's the confirm. Vac just can't necessarily capture onto the coattails of the Viper that's made their way into the A site. Lockdown, Vitality weren't expecting it as much, otherwise they wouldn't be as flat-footed as they were.
Yeah, and with the spike planted, they need to think about this retake in a 4v5, well, 3v5 situation. Never mind, Jesmond has another opinion. Kellogg's was doing much better in these attack than in defense. Hooky also finds a bow with the shock dart. Steal. 3v2 on the situation. Clock's ticking.
He's making it close at least. Just had to take Kellogg's out the picture, hoping to catch a player that was trying to peek off of him.
So Viper spit used on A main. Oh no, Brams. Oh no.
He overstepped the mark a little bit. Again, it feels that when these Vipers pick goes up on the defense, you want to be hunkering down. Vac is that idea. Albeit he's playing very far up on elbow. Now has the dash. It's just not safe to walk because Evova's lurking. Mid is compromised. Now G2 with 3 members alive. It's still on the low side. You got the Viper still dedicating over for Vitality onto A main, onto Cave. So it's more of a 3v3 as we look to be executing onto this B.
Oof. I was pretty scared. I thought that was gonna be it, and that was the sign to go in. Also, Sender had a different opinion and said, oh, you wanna come in? Actually, no, let me use this Rolling Thunder. You stay in there, you lose Mixwell, and what are you gonna do now?
Down B.
He's going to absolutely destroy them with the operator is Vac. Now Mixwell, they know where he is. The recon down is going to pulse to just nail it down, and
but still not there. Let's see what happens in the rest of this map.
Vova wasn't quite the hero in the last round. Kind of slipped through his fingers a little bit, but he starts off with first blood. Sender has been trading it out. Still a cheeky operator over in mid door that could catch up G2 if they try and pick this a little wide. keloqz clearly looking for duels from any angle that he can take them. Off the back of this Aldrin for Loki, they're going to scout out exactly where these G2 players are playing from. You can tell on this site with the pyramids, not all that much room to hide behind, and Sender, it's a nice fault line to try and uproot where keloqz is playing from. He's going to finish it off himself, and mixwell actually with the lockdown playing in close. Position has been given up by the recon dart, but the defuse is going to be stuck. Oh, the nanoswarm actually stops it in time. mixwell might be able to clutch it out, and Brams, whilst he gets the kill, he's going to get detained. That is an incredibly smart lockdown.
Yeah, right?
I don't think he is. Unfortunately, no.
Oh my god. That was 9,000 IQ from mixwell. Seen a couple of them that were pretty important for the team. Looks like they're going again for this A side. Oh. Here is back, taking Nuki. One of the duelists is off. Let's see what keloqz can do from inside this point.
Oh, this utility raining down to try and take the jet out, but it's not even them that makes the damage known to G2. It's a flawless one.
Really important for this round.
It's an important one. Sender looking to close this one out. These Rolling Thunders have constantly found impact, and Nuki with a Sheriff has also been one of the things that you can't really ignore. Sender held down from multiple pistols from multiple angles. He eventually is taken down, but he takes the 3K. Now up to Avova on this Vandal, on this Viper, to try and clutch it out 1 versus 2. Still has the spike in hand. Invite
him to be probably on the other side of the wall. See what we can do. Oh, he left it. He left the operator.
He's going back. I don't think Vitality are going to expect him to be up this close, but he wasn't going to expect Vike to instantly play off of it. Vitality taking the first map of this best of 3. Sages even. It's the Killjoy Reyna that's the stark difference overall, so that's going to dramatically change how both these teams want to play this map.
Yeah, definitely. And the attack, it's coming in. Pretty strong. Sender is trying to retain this, but mixwell ends with his life. The fact that he's trying to find keloqz. Still, it's a 4v2, the spike that's going to be planted right now. And we need to retake this on a 4v2.
Shocked out from Loki, trying to catch onto a player, but they've long left where the spike was dropped. Mixwell with a triple kill, taken away from the action a little bit. Vitality more than happy to give up the space because they're just fine in duels. keloqz runs into the sightline of Brams. There is a little bit of a pinch coming in from Sender, but it's a patient one. The Guardian does catch on to Mixwell. Now Vova holding on, trying to spray in close with the SMGs.
They have that Viper wall. They don't have all the info, but that drone from Coldamenta is going to get the rest. Mixwell waiting from his spawn. Let's see if he expects Sender as well. He's smart enough to expect him there.
Poison's off.
Pretty aggressive and slow from Vitality. They decided to take out that mid, but that was not enough. Great cleanup.
Just in that moment where Vitality's comms are going to fire up, just as Nuki gets that first kill, Maxwell's able to punish Vitality just a little more with that mid control. keloqz is in B. No place is safe for Vitality, but they're running away from the action, looking to save.
Oh.
And if they can actually take the operator out the hands of keloqz now that he's fluffed his lines a little bit, then that would be even better. Make the best of a bad situation, and because he's on his own, he's still able to hold on.
Oh,
the shock dart, however, yet again the Aldrin is going to try and clear off where these Vitality players are playing from. Considering this slow, Vac is in a very precarious position. Bladestorm's forced out, and luckily Sender's there to actually protect the teammate. It's actually going to force Avova away from this fight altogether, and that's because Mixwell seems to believe that this B site is moderately free. Wasn't expecting Brams to rotate as quick as he did, but that's really because he wasn't that far away overall.
Maybe if he finds it on Brams here, you can think of it. Still have 35 seconds. He can do it.
So he's got plenty of time to get the spike planted as well.
Where
he goes next is going to be super important. Like the fact that he still has the wall, but he's now going to be open up for Loki to get the kill and
push them away from A side. They only have 35 seconds briefly to get on the side. Nuki finds Loki with the Abels again. 4v4. Sender is playing amazingly today.
Oh, and is lonesome as well. thin ice. If he screws up, it gives a lot of space to G2, but he's not really done that throughout this series at all yet. In fact, it's his to clutch up now. Avova is going to be able to plant the spike, and you're right, the Resurrect is available, and it's why Cinder looks like he's scarpering. Loki, the choice is an interesting one, but having that recon dart to be able to fight up this clutch is good, and Avova just escaping the battlefield and going somewhere entirely different might be even better.
He might even heal himself. He's only missing 11 points
He's got
of
a
health.
lineup for it. He should be able to like wall bang that position, or at least peeks from it.
Yeah. Also, it's very smart from Sender. He didn't even hesitate on running to Loki when he was in a 1v1 position.
Trying to find the right pixels, and they are the correct ones.
They have to, though.
Shot darts.
Apparently, it's gonna be crossed by G2. They use that drone to get the info. Where is he? Oh. Close enough.
I don't know how necessary that was, because that was a Viper's pit placed in that position, and now the economy of ultimates for G2 is just starting to stretch itself out. Now it's suddenly a 4 versus 1. Only a short second ago it was a 3 versus 2, or 3 versus 3, and doable for Vitality. It's forced out at least a little bit more for G2. Not
Come on, it's your pick. You know you're in a 1-0 situation. You really want this map to be yours.
Oh, Sender is holding on still. That's 2 for him. Avova gonna try and protect out 3 members of G2 as the spike is going down. Mixwell going to try and push and face and might get more than what he was expecting. Brams is just head-on facing. Avova's position given up from Loki. And the A hit, again, not going great for G2. Bovel and Dean. Well,
I'm sure there's lots of it.
Stick and Dom. We have a lot of them in the UK, actually, the more that I think about it.
30 seconds left.
The lockdown actually used more to create space than to shut down a retake for G2. Or a post plan, even.
One enemy remaining.
And they're again finding a lot, and Avova finds himself in this duel alone. Takes out one for Jesmond, and Brams isn't afraid to get in and get stuck in deep.
Here. Oh,
Nice little flick up. Kellogg's actually is the one to do some damage first, but not anything lethal. I think Vac overstays his welcome there just a bit too much. Not only is that brought G2 even, but the Resurrect actually gives them the number advantage. Now Cinder is still trying to hold on. It's a nice snake bite that actually comes in from Mixwell. Nucky's more than prepared to push off of it.
Yeah, Loki that had to back, and Sender was completely sold out there. He was trying to help his friend back, but he couldn't, as the pressure from G2 was too strong, especially with that Venom from Viper. And Plant's gonna be here anytime soon. Not a Boba.
Jesmond gets a kill from beyond the grave. 2 members of Vitality, both coming in from the same position into orange, and Loki having the battle drone is going to try and quickly see if there's anything nearby. It's destroyed early. Mixwell catches Brams as he goes in for another fast peek. All of them have come in saying David Villa, Torres, Xavi, and Iniesta is... I more meant like hosts and celebrity people of that kind, not just well-known Spanish footballers, although there are some absolute gems in there. A good amount of young talent coming through, very similar to this G2 team, and Sender's done enough to hold on. Pistol round is going to them. It was a long attempt, and whilst Kellogg's is the last alive, it's not going to be his team taking the round. He's going to die just to...
Way to directly counter him, especially in a bonus round.
Sender's on the cheeky pick. I was a little worried that Mixwell might just turn around and get the kill in. We've seen that a couple of times. Soulcast doesn't need reminding of that. But
Sender is over now.
Considering to be a threat in mid. Brams is now pushing through. Sender does go down, but Brams is able to at least open a door into this B site. The spike still might be a bit of a while before it's planted. Brams doesn't want to be too far away. Certainly if he wants to peek that angle, Kellogg's is keenly watching it with the operator.
Spike planted.
See the top of the head.
Oh. Close quarter. And again, he was playing an operator glass cannon. He's only not going to lose his ultimate. He's also going to lose that operator. Only con la mente here with the Vandal. He probably is thinking of saving it. He doesn't see... He doesn't have enough info. He has no info at all. or how he can manage it. He does have the recon, but that has been in a lobby, probably just preparing that on a custom game for days. And he also finds two. The spike goes on the floor. Pull him into taking this round for G2. Definitely what they needed. Still not over.
Vac is actually having to give up the operator and play in for a closer clutch. Coldament is still alive. Now he has the Hunter's Fury. Loki just used his. It was more a desperate play, and with 20 seconds left, it's going to be hard to try and make your way onto this site now. There's a gap using their own wall to try and get in onto this corner. At least in this spot, Vac can protect Coldamenta. Is playing in close, breaking the wall as soon as that noise is given. He's already got a multi-kill. He's not going to quite be able to ace it out, but Nuki and Avova, it can be really difficult to deal with. Tries to wall bang to see if he can get a rogue shot to hit in. But Vitality are playing within it. They've planted the spike up in the high ground. I think that's one of the reasons why Coldamenta wanted this Odin.
Yeah, and so you said where an asset B point. This whole B side, this whole tube is gonna be pretty hard for them. But also with the Viper's bid. Oh, Mixwell find Jasmine. There's no more.
Oh, and there's the follow-up too. Hunter's Fury now is coming all the way in. Actually, from distance, is going to get onto Vac, but he's just hopping up to the high ground. Luckily, it's an angle that Kellogg's can clear close up. He's continuing on the trend. There's the triple kill, and now it's all up for Brams. He tries to take the fight onto Coldamenta, but isn't going to hit it. Doesn't know whether to peek high or low. The peek's low, gets Kellogg's and gets Coldamenta. That's a hell of a clutch for the Killjoy. Really wanted to push for this position. Vac is up on pipes. Loki catches Mixwell, who's on the top part of the A site. Vitality have been good at cleaning these angles and playing off of each other. Recon Dart is going to come through, but Coldamenta says no, you're not coming in. The Resurrect is forced out a little earlier than Vitality may have wanted.
Yeah, they also use the wall, but Nuki has different plans. Oh, that is so unlucky. He couldn't get the orb. He did get the Phantom, but he couldn't manage to get the kill. Still, the spike has not been planted. It's down the middle of the side, and they have to go across Coldamenta, Holden, and Odin to get that spike. Now, how do you do that with 40 seconds?
Holding the Odin. Still there, but Rams... It's that reticle, I tell you. It's a man possessed as he's found himself an opening, and I don't think this is going to be a position that Coldamenta is likely to expect. Now, time for Vitality is starting to become more of an issue, and now as G2 are starting to clear up the players, it's Brams again that slides on in. Another 2k for him.
Go back in. Pretty risky going back in if he wants to keep it up.
Vitality players are going to get easier and easier to spray down. He finds the timing. He retakes back the space. It's only Vac that's able to stop it. And suddenly Vac has found himself a nice bit of opening. There is a Blade Storm still in play for Kellogg's. He's jumping onto the high ground and he's taking the attention perfectly for Nuki. It's a bit out in the open. Vac might try and peek off of it instantly as soon as he hears it. But he's better to just play it safe. The Empress is actually diminished. It was used up from Nuki, and now it's gone down. Now Cinder is trying to close in and stop these defuses. They're happy to run through hell and high water to avoid it from happening. Vitality now finding the fights. They played it incredibly patiently. Spot somebody, throw down a couple of snake bites, and the fact that Vac finds that opening onto Nuki, that's very concerning considering where Mixwell is.
And Mixwell cannot go for the refrag, but he can go and find Cinder. Just gonna finish up with his life. We all know that that's enough for him.
It's an important play that Vitality have lost, though. The Sage means that there's not going to be a wall. I don't really know why Kellogg's goes for that push. G2 had a nice position.
You're waiting for the next wall to go plant. Still 20 seconds and take care, because Coldamenta with this Odin can do a lot of damage. They may lose this out of time.
Oh yeah, the time is still good.
Oh my god.
That Coldamenta Odin could come in to absolutely ruin Vitality, and it does. Oh, what a dramatic way to lose it for G2 to go on match point. Advantage, I suppose, for G2. They stepped back a little bit, provided Vitality room, and with that Viper's Pit, it's going to be a real issue to get through all of this. But Nuki finds a way to re-kill Loki.
Yeah, he finds the kill. They need to break the wall, and they need to counter this post plan. Mixwell also finds back. 3 situation, 3v3. Oh god, it's impossible to imagine what's happening here.
Rams is... Oh, it's all really coming down to post plant utility potentially. at least playing far away. The wall has been broken. Kellogg's wanted to try and find who's left, but Sender is going to try and spray through. Kellogg's trying to hold his nerve, but the 4K for Sender is there.
Drone. Kind of risky that, but looks like it's going to work. Vagdas here.
Oh, this is balls of steel. But Kellogg's does check it. So maybe thinking, this doesn't seem quite right, and just checks in the right spot overall. A Sage Wall is needed, one of the key components that was missing when Vitality went for that hit and the Odin shot it down. The Snakebite, it's a nice lineup, but just the wrong side of the wall. Vova is still holding close. Now, does Jesman know that the Sage is still going to be there? Well, he's going to try and break this wall. Not quite done it just yet, and Vova is playing very close. I don't know if Vitality are going to expect this, and there's only 2 players left. Yeah, they're not holding that angle. For egregious, not really seeing G2 rein him in all that much, but
why
Nuki,
is no one watching out for him?
that is the second time that's happened.
Yes, I mean the first one I can, you know, because we all fall sometimes, but we have to learn from our mistakes.
There's gaps in the play, and G2 love to exploit them. If it was the G2 from 2020 on now, it's similar stuff. The Sender superhero is here. Now they're going to try and plant in on that B site, and that's a key pick. Coldamenta going down. The heal is going to bring Sender back up to decent health, and a bit of an opening in a window to plant that spike. Vova tries to take the Jewel from distance. Vitality get that information. Sender's going to continue to push. I don't think Vova would maybe expect to see a Sage this close up. They're going to continue to push. This is a bit messy from Sender.
He's gonna go for this. Oh no, he doesn't. They're too far. Sorry.
There's Nuki. He could clutch it out. He's gonna peek around this angle, but Jesman's watching it, and we go for a second round of overtime. Going in for this retake on B.
And just like Vitality needed to win that round to take it to overtime and played it simple and played it classic, this is what G2 is doing right now, playing a classic post plan.
Jesman going for the peak. That's nice. It's even better, and it's a shock that from Coldamenta from all that way. That's actually the one that makes sure that no more kills can happen from him. Now Vitality going in for the defuse, but Coldamenta
Postpone the plan, but it's not gonna be possible. Still is a 5v4 situation. The retake is gonna start anytime soon. They're starting to take that control over the site. Good for them.
Remembers of Vitality. Now bring the honors even. Just dwindling bit by bit. Sender just caught with utility in hand. That is so unlike him, and now Loki has to clutch it out. Otherwise, we're going to Ascent. Snakebite is going to create a bit of space, and Mixwell knows exactly where he is. That's key. Finding these kills. Now up to Mixwell, but he peeks it just before he's shown up from the recon dart. I don't know if there's enough time. It's going to be incredibly close. 0.3 seconds. We're going to Ascent, and you can't ask for a better series than that.
Keeping that mid part clear for him through Pizza, because he's gonna go back, and the rotation from Vitality are gonna come in.
Now they're breaking through. Brahms is holding on, and he's continuing on. It's a 4K already.
None left though. The attack needs to go. The execute needs to be now. Coldamenta and Abova getting the kills. Open and Jesman just with this judge needs to defend B side. Also with Brahms on the back side. It's not gonna be again towards B. Nuki here. It's a privileged position for him. And Jesman's not gonna expect him. He's one away from Res as well.
Yeah, Kellogg's gets caught with burst in hand, and Vac is doing a pretty good job of holding on before Avova takes him down. 1 versus 2 now. Brahms and Sender making their way into the site. Was their initial play that started off the round with that kill onto Coldamenta. The flash is near on perfect. It shuts down Avova and what he was trying to do. The door in the face, and some of the cyber cages from Mixwell are at least going to mask him as he gets onto the back. Loki going in to safety behind the logs into the boathouse. Does get hit by the paranoia and provides more space and time to Kellogg's to really get in there. Avova teleporting out of the way just in time. It's a good press because now it's areas of the map that Vitality need to clear. Avova's not even near the action anymore.
Yeah, and Nuki, after getting the kill, he walks off that wall. Spike's been planted, and this 3v5, I think, yeah, they're gonna save those guns. This is not gonna be as lucky. Also, the flash is coming in. Back fancy flank with the classic. He also has the rest. He's gonna go in for the gun. Falling as well. Oof, think.
Jessamyn's been really good this series as well. Just finds those hits. Koldamenta is 10 HP and just decides to pull out the Hunter's Fury based off very little.
Yeah, he just wanted to stop any kind of push, maybe get a little info if he tagged any of them, and also allow and create the space for Nuki to get this rest onto Mixwell. That's a situation of 4v4. Boba here, just a Boba being a Boba.
So poor, but Jessamyn's on this mad flank now. Mixwell is checking it. He could really put this down. Jessamyn gets it. He's going to peek for more. He might have overstepped the margin. The wallbang's in the right idea, in the right place, and that's a third kill for him. Koldamenta goes down. He was already pretty low health. And back on this corner, it's awkwardly checked from Nuki.
Oh.
The spike is down on B. It's Sage walled off, and now it's all up for Brams. He's clutched out a few rounds already, but there's 13 seconds left. The spike isn't in a safe spot. He needs to win this duel onto Vac. Over even, with the teams mixed up, but never mind. He's going to have time. He does have time to plant it at all.
No. He was very unlucky.
Brams is ready. A great start for him, but Jessamyn's the one that's really starting to shut the door on G2. Koldamenta is prying in open, but before he can even blink, Vitality want to be able to do to just sort of keep that space away, but it hasn't stopped G2 from holding in this spot. Jessamyn is the one to fall. If you're G2 here, you know that this B-side's opening. keloqz, he doesn't need anything else. He's out aiming some of these players. And Evolver, at least watching the flank, protects from Brams. And Vac in a 1 versus 4.
Vac is not going to be able to move around from here with that Cypher cable and maybe trying to do some damage. Havoba.
Now, he's still there with the operator. Catches Mixwell, bodies him. Spike is going to go down fairly uncontested, but it's still a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, the spike's going to go down, planted right now by Mixwell. Nuki's going to be playing from B, man, and Brams shooting no and clear. Oh, God. You know, it was a 50-50.
Yeah, it's an angle that really should have been cleared. Nuki's still continuing to be a threat here. Now 1 versus 1. Jessamyn up against Koldamenta. Koldamenta's been able to clutch out a few of these, and that's another one to the tally.
Amazing.
Look how many players from G2 are waiting though.
Yeah.
There's so many looking for these fights, and now they're going to start to find the ones that are necessary. keloqz gets 1. Send it down to 26 HP. It's the last play in mid. He has the spike. That's the spike down. Koldamenta following through. I think just taking pot shots with the wall bang.
I have the spike.
And you know, there's a reason why that play with Sage is so basic and classic, putting that wall close in CT up to any pushes from there. And it's because that push onto CT is a coin toss. Koldamenta here finding Jessamyn, and Aboba's gonna finish Loki. We're gonna run, literally run onto A, but I don't know if they expect Aboba to be this close, and with the Spectre, you gave him everything that he wanted. 13 seconds, he gets 2, keloqz find the 3rd, and this is almost impossible for Jessamyn.
Vac just trying to make a run for it, and Jessamyn's nowhere near the action.
Here, I don't know if this flank with the operator is it gonna turn out, but he also has a Stormblade in case he needs it. He needs it.
keloqz lurking with the operator is somehow working out great for G2. He's going to continue to peek. He's going to find the fight against Brams. And as we see Vitality using the lockdown to open up the A site, they're in a nightmare scenario. Between a rock and a hard place, he's dropped the operator, picked up the Vandal, and he's in for the ace. Amazing play from the recent addition for G2.
Yeah. You have a KD. Oh. Loki here. They have the same opinion on that one.
Needs to be the villain. He needs to keep Vitality in this and does so. Gonna peek out and find a fight against Evolver. It's not necessary to push on any further than that. So much for Vitality to make work here. They have a player advantage. They need to set up these plays now. Brams just caught in the middle of 2 G2 players. And as Vitality are trying to find information, they're finding fights, and at least they win this one. Sender's opened up this B site, but Mixwell is right there, right in front, and Vac is trying to close him down.
Yeah, they need also to use that res, but they're not gonna be able to use it on anyone because look what they die. Bram's dying in that position in short A is really unlucky, but Loki wants to finish this.
Multiple players could come out of either of them, so instead of trying to overstep the mark, he's quite rightly backing out. Knows when he wants to be passive, knows when he wants to hold, because Evolver's doing a similar thing in tree. It's finding success. The Resurrect for Vitality is going to be used. Evolver gets a second. He's out of the server for now. 4 versus 3 for G2. The spike is eventually going to get planted. Now Vac holding in through the remnants of the barrier orb that he put up. It brings Evolver back in. The numbers advantage keenly in favor now for G2. And they're still holding on to these positions. It's really this neutral fight. keloqz again going in for this third peak, seeing if he can find an opening, see if he can find Vitality. As they're slowly breaking away and getting these kills, Mixwell just jumps out. Vitality is still able to hold on here. Nuki again closing it up. And Vac rushing onto site now, needs to make it through. That's onto keloqz. The defuse is being attempted, but Nuki holds his nerve. He's able to clear it. And G2 13-8, 2-1 fashion against Vitality.